Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I hope you're having a great Saturday. Over here in Malta it's raining very hard, so I hope that the audio quality isn't affected so much. So a couple of hours ago I made a poll on YouTube where I asked you what my next video should be, and the one which got most votes was the Diper Överlöde review. The review for the 17th book in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. So I'm going to be reading my review from Goodreads, and then I'll explain my thoughts even further. So first of all, I'd like to say that I had to buy this from the agenda stand at the Malta 2022 book fair, because Book Depository took way too long to deliver my order and I still haven't received it, even though it was a pre-order. It's been about a month and a half now and I still haven't received my order. I sent an email complaining about it and I didn't even receive a proper reply with a good response. So I think that Diper Överlöde was rather different from the rest of the series, in the sense that it was from Greg's perspective, as it usually is, but Roderick had more autonomy than his younger brother, and this really got me thinking about how much Greg and Roderick really speak with each other, and how much of a reliable narrator Greg actually is. I mean, does he really know everything that Roderick does? Every problem that Roderick faces? Why doesn't anything ever turn out right for either of the characters? So, because from the impression I got through reading the entire of the series twice, I don't feel as though Greg and Roderick are really that close, realistically, and at some points it feels as though Greg was just making it up because he felt jealous of Roderick's success, and Roderick, it really felt as though Roderick was recommending great ideas to his bandmates and trying his best to make his band Loaded Diaper successful. And it had a great premise actually, which is why I'm quite disappointed that he didn't succeed, because he really deserved at least some minor success, which he didn't get because it always went to shit. His thoughts were always ruined, his plans were always destroyed. For some reason or other, he didn't really get to make much money out of it, even though he spent a lot of money, a lot of exercise to plan and prepare his performances, and he really got nothing out of it but perhaps practice, and his bandmates even ultimately left his team because of a lawsuit which was filed against him for using the name of a pack of cards which had been published many years prior to the name is banned. So I think that Roderick's band is pretty cool overall, but it took a woman and a letter from a lawyer for it to disband. I explained the letter, right? The letter from the lawyer, and basically the woman, what she did was steal from them after she told them she'd pay them a fee for every admission she got to her restaurant, but the admission fee was free, so they got paid nothing out of it. And the band Roderick looks up to, however, did get the opportunity to make it big for a second time in their careers towards the end of the book. So Roderick's band didn't succeed in playing their music wherever they wanted to, but the band Roderick looked up to had a great reunion, coincidentally, at the Battle of the Bands by the end of the book, and they managed to make it big. It was a very quick paced and spanned over months, unlike other books in the series, especially the few books which took place prior to this. Okay, thunder and lightning, right? And those were spent over a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and this one was spanned over months, which I think was a good idea because we need to move forward. Yet somehow it's quite weird that the characters never age, they're always the same age. So we need to see some continuity in the sense that they do grow up and they do mature, they do realize that their actions have consequences and they take them more seriously, which they still do not do. So I actually still need to catch up with volumes 15 and 16, and so far 1 to 14 weren't the same as they were when I was younger and read them the first time. So I still read these books, this series in particular, because of how nostalgic they are, of how many memories they bring back, of my enjoyment of reading them, and how they actually are the reason why I started reading, along with other series like Series of Unfortunate Events, Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, and so many others, other authors like Michael Moore Purgo, perhaps Enid Blyton, though now I don't even like her at all. This series really had an influence on me to become the reader that I am today, and that's why I still read them. But at this point, I don't think that Jeff Kinney is actually putting much effort into making these books funny anymore. He just knows that they'll be successful because of how many people are committed to reading these books, and at this point I feel as though he just wants the money and he's hardly putting any effort anymore. So they actually have been taking a rather serious tone, and nothing ever pans out for either Greg or Roderick. And however, I think it was a relief not to have to read about Susan, Frank, or Manny in this volume, because they are unbearable characters. I hate them completely, and I'm not sure whether my change in tone is because I am older, because of how many other books I've read, how much more I know about literature than I used to. But I read other reviews and they agree that this volume wasn't as funny as the other ones, and I was expecting much more out of it because of Roderick. And Roderick is one of my favorite characters, though Greg seems to enjoy making fun of him, enjoy making him look the fool in his diary. So, and to be completely fair, Susan did show a shred of support for Roderick's band in this volume, but she did it at a most inconvenient time, and she actually ended up wasting the band's time. I hope she actually did pay them the money they asked her to pay as a fan. And I also have certain questions about the whereabouts of the ice cream van and the monkey hand stuck to one of the characters' foot. The ice cream van, it just disappears out of the question, and then again Roderick starts to use his van regularly, even though I believe that the ice cream van actually belonged to him as well. And the monkey hand, it's not really consistent. We don't know whether it's removed or not. It's suddenly no longer there, but then again a few months do pass, so perhaps that's the reason why. And I feel as though the monkey hand could also have been easily removed if the pant leg was cut, but I guess it never was. And this just goes to show that the band's IQ is quite low. They didn't really think of a solution to remove the monkey hand, and they just succumbed to the discomfort and the inconvenience of it. And I feel as though Roderick was the one who tried the most and was at least present for his own band, and he deserves more respect. So those are my thoughts on Diper Överlöde. It's not a book I would necessarily recommend, but it's a different change in tone and pace to the rest of the Wimpy Kid books. And as you can see at the back, Greg is carrying Rowley, and he does seem to come across as the guy who is absolutely responsible for the band, but he doesn't really do much. And that was basically it. So let me know what you'd like to see next. I have Karen compilation video planned and a top 5 series video planned for you to watch. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to like, comment, share, and perhaps click the red shiny button. We're very close to reaching 200 subscribers, so thank you for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.